France is dealing with the fallout from the resignation of Prime Minister Sebastian Lecornu after less than 4 weeks in office. He was the fifth premier in 2 years as President Emmanuel Macron struggles to deal with his country's political crisis. Macron was spotted taking a stroll along the Seine on Monday. French media have been speculating about who he was talking to on his phone. With opposition parties calling for new elections, Macron summoned the outgoing prime minister to his palace, where he urged him to hold last-ditch talks to find a solution. Lecornu was given 2 days to put together an action plan. The premier said he would hold final discussions on with all of France's political forces. For more, let's cross over to DW correspondent Lisa Louis, who's in Paris. Lisa, it's been suggested that if no consensus can be reached in the coming hours, Macron might call fresh parliamentary elections. How likely do you think that is?
Well, this is indeed the option that he seems to be floating. He has now given, as we just heard, the outgoing Prime Minister Sebastian Lecornu 2 days until tomorrow night to find a new solution, to come up with a new team. But he also said that he would take full responsibility for the situation. That would indicate possibly that there might be new snap parliamentary elections. When you look at the polls, actually opinion polls, they seem to suggest that through these parliamentary elections, if they were to happen, this situation would not be clarified, though, because although the far-right National Rally is predicted to win even more seats in Parliament, none of the three blocs, the centre, the right or the left, are predicted to win an outright majority. So there might be new elections ahead, but it's not clear that they will actually solve the situation, solve the problem.
Well, if fresh elections are not held, what other options does Emmanuel Macron have? Does he have any other options?
Well, he seems to think that there is still a way, a solution to find in the centre. He seems to have asked the outgoing Prime Minister to find a new team around, his own party, around Conservative Party, the Republicans, and maybe also with some kind of tacit support of the Socialist Party. But many others believe that there's no way that could work. The Socialist Party, by the way, is asking for a left-wing Prime Minister after last year's snap parliamentary elections, where the left bloc in Parliament had, won the biggest share of the votes. However, other people are also asking for President Emmanuel Macron to step down, especially the far-left party, France Unbowed, and the far-right party, the National Rally. President Macron, up until now, though, has said that he would go and stay in power until 2027, when the next presidential elections are supposed to be held here in France.
How isolated, Lisa, is President Macron now at this point in this incredible crisis?
Well, he seems more and more isolated, although he seems adamant that he can still find a way, wiggle through this really complicated political situation. What he wants is basically to stick to his plan, not to bring someone in power, actually, who might then go back on the reforms he has been putting in place, the market-orientated reforms especially he's been putting in place since he was first elected in 2017. But now even people from his own camp, former prime ministers such as Edouard Philippe, are asking for him to step down. And many people just can't understand him anymore. They don't understand why he does not react to that feeling of despair that is clearly touchable here in France. Many people feel that France is in a dead end, really, that the political situation is really very difficult, and that something needs to happen, that there needs to be a change of direction. Emmanuel Macron seems adamant not to do that, but the pressure on him is rising indeed.
Lisa, thank you very much. Our correspondent Lisa Louis in Paris.